Welcome to another day in the Matrix. Waters above crypto. I'm sending you all love and high vibrations. The crypto market has started to wake up, so in today's video, I'm going to share some important dates coming up with a Gematria decode, and then go over the charts to do some technical analysis on our monthly close coming in tonight. The decode I'll be sharing will be enlightening to those individuals who want answers to why a specific crypto will start moving on a specific date and why it will go to a specific price on that date. And just a final reminder, today is the last day for the sale on my courses until the end of the month. The sale will be live for the next 24 hours, so if you're interested in getting my courses at a discount, the link and information will be in the description box and in the pinned comment below, and I'll also be sharing more details about that in a moment. So if you're new here, we do cryptocurrency technical analysis and combine it with Gematria Numerology and Astrology to understand these markets. Feel free to subscribe and turn on the bell notification to stay updated on when new videos come out, and make sure to give this video a like and share this channel with other conscious beings to help grow this community. And as you heard earlier, I'm currently running a flash sale on both of my courses until the end of this month for the Mastermind course and the Advanced Trading course. So for those of you that want to learn how to do technical analysis and combine it with Gematria, there will be a link in the description box of this video and in the pinned comment below to my website, watersabovecrypto.com/redpill2022, and the link already has the discount automatically added to the price, so there's no promo code needed at checkout. All you'll need is the link and you'll be able to get my courses with the discount. Again, I appreciate all of your support. And one final note, on the exit strategy blueprint that is within the Mastermind course. For those of you that end up getting the Mastermind course, you'll have this exit strategy blueprint at the bottom, or if you wanted it separately, it is on discount as well until the end of the month. And you will see I just added a new video called Take Action, and that actually goes over some of the ZIL exit strategy targets that we talked about in the Zilliqa exit strategy video in lesson number 14. So this take action stage, we're talking more about the final steps in an exit strategy when it talks about getting into setting up your limit orders and just the philosophy around how much of your portfolio you should plan to keep for the long term versus the short term, and just the overall philosophy around that whole process. So I just added that new video last night, so for anyone who gets this, you'll see that new stage added into this exit strategy blueprint as well as the Mastermind course. So with that being said, let's take the red pill. So you guys might remember in my last video, I was talking about March 30th, and I do kind of want to give you a little bit of a Zilliqa decode. It's not too often that I share these decodes on specific altcoins, but a lot of people have been reaching out to me about this one coin, Zilliqa, which if anyone knows my work or my channel, you know that I've actually been talking about this coin for over a year now. When I started my Mastermind course in September of 2020, probably, what would that be, a year and a half ago, I actually was talking about how that was one of my first investments. I was buying Zilliqa around a penny, and it was one of those things that I was accumulating quite heavily because of the amazing staking and earn rewards you would get for keeping your ZIL on Atomic Wallet and earning GZIL, governance ZIL. So this is a project that's always been sort of in my top 5 coins for pretty much since I got going in investing into the market. So I would love to share this decode with you guys, and I think it'll be quite enlightening. Now, yesterday was the 30th of March, and March is the 3rd month in the Gregorian system, and the 30. Now, if we remove that 0, we have 33. And this is something I talk with you guys about quite a bit. I believe I probably talked about some of these things in my last video as well. We also talked a little bit about ZIL for a moment, but this will be a comprehensive breakdown. So just consider this 33. It was the 33, and that really ties back to Zilliqa through Zilliqa ZIL, giving you the 137, which 137 is the 33rd prime number. So whenever you see 137, that's a big number because we know 33 is a huge number and they're tied together. One other thing, and this comes from my brother Logan over at Decode Your Reality. He taught me that whenever you're seeing a 1 in front of the master number, you're going to consider that as an amplified version of that number. So again, with Zilliqa ZIL, we're getting 133, which would be the 33 amplified. It's like taken up a notch. It's one way to consider it. So you're getting the 33 in both cases here. That's really interesting, but we're going to continue, and this is going to continue to get more and more mind-blowing. So yesterday was Wednesday, and Wednesday is miércoles, or Mercury. It's the day of Mercury. That's really important because Zilliqa, as you can see right here, we have 3 connections. Actually, we have multiple connections with Mercury, but more importantly, you could see right here, we have that 86, that 41, and that 40. Okay, so with Mercury, we're getting that 103, 40, 86, 41. We're actually matching it in 4 different ciphers, excuse me. So you can see the 103 we're getting as well. Now it's a little bit jumbled up, but this is heavily tied to this through Quicksilver and a couple other deeper, more esoteric things. But with that being said, whenever you have this 103, that's the 27th prime, and that 27 always ties back to Jupiter. Okay, so there's definitely deeper mythological ties here, as you can see Jupiter right there. So getting back, Zilliqa matches Mercury in 4 ciphers, and yesterday was the day of Mercury, right? And one other connection we could be making in the same cipher is Mercury is also Hermes, and Hermes gives us this 68, which again is the mirror of the 86. And in alchemy, everything is mirrored, all right? Now, what's really important about this Hermes connection, I also remember bringing this up in probably my last video or 2 videos ago. It has the 24 in Chaldean, and this 24 connection is huge because yesterday, the 30th of March, the 3/3 date, that was the 89th day of the year, and 89 is the 24th prime number. And when you measure since the start of Shemitah, which was on September 7th, 2021, to the 30th, you get 204 days, and in the rules of numerology you're removing that 0, which gives you the 24. So I talked about this in my last video. Now, this is an amazing connection coming back to Hermes because we know that that ties back to Mercury, and Mercury ties to Zilliqa. So this was huge. All right. Now, one other thing about Zilliqa, Zil, when you type the name of the coin plus their ticker symbol, you're going to get 61, and 61 is the 18th prime number. And why that's so important is because Zilliqa hit 18 cents yesterday. It's actually trading at 18 cents now as well. Lots of volatility today on this particular coin because lately it's gone up about 400% in short order. So again, the stock market just opened up like 20 minutes ago. So we're seeing weird kind of volatility enter the market. That's very typical. I tend to release my videos around the same time that the stock market opens purposefully because I want to release my videos at a time where it's the most volatile. This way it keeps me neutral because even though we're seeing a lot of volume enter the market, we're seeing the DXY and the indices go pumpy and dumpy for a moment. That's kind of the best time for me to do my overall analytic, just like run through on all of these coins, and particularly Bitcoin and Ethereum. The reason I do this is because if you can do your TA at the most volatile time of the day, you do that multiple months in a row, just keep doing that, practicing that, you see that you become much more neutral to this volatility in the crypto market. You don't get as phased about it. And that's really important when you're an analyst or a trader. You want to kind of just become emotionless towards what's going on in these charts. Save your emotions for real life, right? So this connection is absolutely amazing, and we're seeing how it all plays out. But one other thing to mention is this big connection to particularly Zilliqa and the tiger. And why that matters is because we're currently in the Chinese year of the tiger, specifically the water tiger. And you could see right here with Zil, we're getting 47, and 47 ties back to the 15th prime. And anything with that 47 and 15 is coming back to tiger. You could see 15 in Chaldean, and we're in the year of the tiger. So this is tied to that. And remember, I showed you earlier that 103 connection with Zilliqa, and that 103 is the 27th prime and how that ties back to Jupiter. Well, Jupiter is the striped planet. It is the tiger, okay? So this has even more confluence in the overall decode. And the fact that Zilliqa is trading around 18 cents right now at this specific time, that 18 is huge in Judaism, and we're in the year of Shemitah. And all of this should make sense for those people that have been watching my work for quite a while. But what's so amazing about this connection to Zil, 47 being the 15th prime, tying back to the tiger, the year of the tiger is in the Gregorian year of 2022. And we're in the Hebrew year of 5782, which reduces down to 22. And what are the odds after Zilliqa breaks that 18 cent level that it goes up to 22 cents with a 22% move? It literally went up 22%, to hit 22 cents on the nose. So this is really interesting how this all comes to fruition. I definitely think that we're seeing a lot happen now in this market, lots of volatility enter, and this is the remnants of what some people would consider to be an alt season. When we're starting to see that when Bitcoin stalls out for a moment, isolated coins just start jumping dramatically. Right? So this day is full of volatility. I mean, I just had an alarm go off. That's telling me something about the market. Yesterday, we saw the DXY dumping, and then today we're seeing it rebound. You know, when we're getting this sort of volatility, it's indicative of Shemitah. So anyways, I don't want to get too deep into other coins analysis, but I really think that it's mind-blowing to see this volatility kick in on Zilliqa, especially when I released my exit strategy blueprint. When we were going over this coin specifically, it was on this date of March 6th. So if you zoom out, look at the day that we started the exit strategy video on it. It was like the absolute bottom. All right. And my last entry in Zilliqa was around 4 cents, 0.47, 0.43, around that area. So I essentially caught that bottom small little range of that cup before it broke out in a straight line. And this doesn't really matter too much to me, again, because I've been investing in this coin since it was a penny. So I've had quite a while of being exposed to this project. And for me, seeing it get into the golden pocket so rapidly is very indicative of the type of, information I've been sharing with the community, with everyone. I've been trying to tell people these coins, when they want to go bullish, they will flip bullish very, very fast. And that's why we want to be buying this dump. We don't want to be waiting for it to get exciting. We want to get into projects when they're boring, bloody, and when no one cares about them. Now everyone just wants to talk about Zilliqa. But if you go back to last year, you'll see that it was one of my top 5 coins that I was selecting. I literally made a video called my top 5 or whatever for the year, the top 3. And I never make videos like that, but Zilliqa was one of them. So it's been a project that I've been really I don't even have any emotion towards this right now, what's happening, because my long-term outlook on this is so different than the price action we're seeing today. So let's get back to the Decode. But I mean, you guys got to admit, if we're going to see this parabolic advance into the golden pocket, hitting 18 cents, which is tied to Gematria because Zilliqa Zil, again, equaling that 61, which is the 18th prime number. And then right after it does that, it moves 22% to 22 cents in one day. I mean, and this all happened on the date of 3/30, the 33 date, which again ties back to Zilliqa Zil because 137 is the 33rd prime. It's absolutely mind-blowing stuff. So again, the market is very volatile right now. This coin should chill out. I would actually prefer, because we're seeing daily RSI reach historic highs. It's about 93, 92%. Daily RSI doesn't matter nearly as much as weekly RSI. We're seeing weekly RSI approach 75. On this coin, we've seen as it approaches 82 to 83% RSI on the weekly, not percent, but 83 RSI. When we see it hit those levels on the relative strength index indicator, it typically has a sideways range. So this would be very, very good for this coin to close out a weekly, which will be this Sunday night, and to just chill out for a moment. Because when it chills out, it actually allows some stability and a reset of some of these momentum indicators, and then it will allow for it to go higher. If this coin just continues rampaging up through all-time highs and entering price discovery, this would be very, very, this would be a sign that alt season is here and this is getting very close to being over. And that's actually beautiful, because there's a lot of people that were waiting to get out here, and once we got out here, no one took action. But now that we're actually returning back to similar levels on this specific coin, it's a sign that other coins can do this as well. And this is kind of how alt seasons go. We see just isolated projects going up 300, 400% at a time. Just like Rune did this recently. It's kind of ironic because I covered Rune in a Red Pill episode. And then after that day, it went up 250%. And since it's probably been up like 300 to 300, maybe even higher than that by now. I haven't checked the chart since. So anyways, let's wrap this up because there's so much more to say about all of this. I suspect if I had to use the code and determine where was the next big move for Zilliqa. And again, I share this all in my exit strategy blueprint, which is within my mastermind course, like I was saying earlier. I believe it'll be around 27 cents. And the reason for that 27 again ties back to this Zilliqa giving us 103, which is the 27th prime, and Zil giving us that. So Zilliqa, Zil, giving us that 28. So the fact that we have two numbers very close to each other, 27 to 28 cents, to me would be the next big move to the upside, which would essentially be a new all-time high. And we know 27 is connected to Jupiter. So what does this tell me? We want to use our critical thinking here. And this is where this decode is going to have utility for you guys. And you could do everything you're learning in this video today and apply it to the coins you like. And again, when you get my exit strategy, you're going to see that I did this on 8 different coins, the same method I'm showing you right now. But this will be slightly different. You're going to see the merit in this. So again, we know this is tied to Jupiter with that 27 connection, and Jupiter is Thor. And we know next week we have the 7th of April being, I mean, this is an amazing connection. April 7th is a Thursday, just like today is Thursday. But what's really important about this April 7th date is you see it as 4-7. April being the 4th month in the Gregorian system, 7th day. Now this 47 connection is mind-blowing because Zil equals 47. You can see that right there. That's the ticker symbol, ZIL. It equals 47, and April 7th is the 4-7. And what's even more amazing is the date numerology, standard date numerology, 4 plus 7 plus 2 plus 2 plus 2 equals 17, all right? And Zilliqa equals 17 in Chaldean. All right, so this is absolutely amazing. One other thing to mention is this will be a full 7 months since the start of Shemitah, since the start of the 7-year cycle. 7 months into the 7-year cycle. And we're in super Shemitah, like we're in Jubilee time frame, where we have Jubilee in the year of 2023. So this is really amazing to see this 4-7 connection and the 17 connection showing up, 17 in Zilliqa and 47 in Zil, and 2 of the most important ciphers that I use. This would also be 2 days after Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday. So Satoshi is turning 47 on the 5th of April. Of course, Satoshi is a fake person, but we need to use these dates. They're very important. So April 5th will be the 47th birthday of Satoshi Nakamoto, and we're talking about the number 47 here and how this all ties to Zilliqa. So this is pretty amazing. It'll be 2 days after that. So another huge connection we have here, just because I brought up Satoshi, is Bitcoin and BTC together. That's giving you that 43. And that 43 is a huge number because that is the 14th prime. So go back and watch my decode on the Rams and the Super Bowl. We were able to determine the Rams winning the Super Bowl. More importantly, what we determined was that the Bengals would lose the Super Bowl. That's how I interpreted the code, and that's how it came to fruition. And we released that decode before the date of the Super Bowl, so you can go back and watch that for proof. But with that being said, this 43 is a positive number. The 43 being the 14th prime, these two numbers in particular, 43 and 14, are very positive. All right, everything that's been tied to them so far has been positive. We know this because LA Rams equals the 14 in Chaldean, and Ram equals the 14, and the Rams won the Super Bowl. All right, and the Tigers lost. So it's really interesting how I was sharing that I believe that in the first part of the year of the Tiger, it will be a negative aspect, but then it will become positive. And the reason why it will become positive has more to do with astrology and based on a couple of other more deeper things. And it would take me a lot of time to break that all down. But more importantly here, this 43 is making me think of a couple things, one of which would be April 3rd, because that's the 4-3 date. And then the next day, which is the 44, the 4-4 date, because it's the 14th date numerology. So we have that 14 again coming back to the Ram, coming back to that positive aspect that I explained before. Now, this 4-3-4-4 is just a couple days before Satoshi's 47th birthday. So take this all into consideration because this 4-3 date is also the 93rd day of the year. And 93, again, ties to Saturn. 93, and Saturn and Satoshi are the same. Saturn is Satoshi, Satoshi is Saturn. I've proven that many times in my work. So what this all adds up to is I'm particularly paying attention to Zilliqa and any coins tied to Jupiter and Mercury starting tomorrow, because if we pay attention to tomorrow's date, that's the 4-1-41. And if we go back to Zilliqa, Zilliqa equals 41. Okay, so I'm paying attention to Zilliqa tomorrow through April 7th. Okay, now April 7th, I showed you already. That's the 47 date. and it has the 17-date numerology, both of which ties back to Zilliqa. Zilliqa equaling 17 and Zil equaling 47. Okay, and we're entering April. Tomorrow will be April Fool's Day, the night of the new moon, and you can see that right here in the new moon calendar. It's tonight. And that's really important because we're typically bullish around new moons, but the month of April is a little bit of an anomaly, right? April is Apru, which is Aphrodite, which has to deal with Venus. Now, this is a very good performance month for the stock market typically, and for crypto, even during Shemitah year. So during the year of Shemitah, April is always very, very good. And considering we don't have an eclipse until April 30th, that's been another factor into why I feel April will be solid. And we're seeing that show up in the charts a little bit early. Once we got past the March full moon, it's pretty much been up. So that's very positive, right? But with that being said, the earlier part of April should be very bullish just because of that connection to the new moon and Satoshi's birthday and some of the things tied to this. But I would not be surprised if we do get flash, like, you know, volatility from here on out. When you're seeing coins moving up 100% to the upside, expect washouts of 20-30% in a single day, and those could be, you know, end positive. We've seen that happen so many times where we see big washouts, but then in the same exact day, once the stock market closes, that liquidity goes straight back into those coins, and then they end green candles in the same day. So don't get shaken out. What I'm trying to tell everyone is just be calm, be patient, allow these charts to play themselves out. Excuse me. So it's just very important we consider that we're moving into Taurus on April 20th. This will be about 4 days after the full moon of April. So be calm. This is a crazy month. Last year, when I released when I started making videos and sharing Gematria and numerology and all these connections to the crypto market with the world, it was right into April. And we saw what happened. Once we kicked into April, XRP and a lot of altcoins just started moving up in a straight line. So let's watch this all play out. But for now, Zilliqa, I'm really interested in tomorrow. I'm really interested in how the first 5 days or so are going to go of April, just because of that connection to the new moon. And of course, Satoshi Nakamoto's 47th birthday, 47 being the 15th prime number, and that 15 tying to the tiger. It's very comprehensive, but once you understand this information, you're going to do much better in this market. With that being said, too, on Zilliqa, there's nothing wrong with taking partial profits at this level here. There is nothing wrong. When we see us swipe through the golden pocket in a single day, you know, it's indicative of there was a sell wall there. So I'm not telling people what to do with their money, but don't feel bad for taking a little bit of chips out of the gambling casino when we're getting into the golden pocket. That's a beautiful level to consider taking some out. Now, again, you need to do what is best for you. In my exit strategy blueprint, I thoroughly explain how this all goes, talking about RSI, talking about price levels built with, you know, the Gematria connections. So it's more important that you consider that stuff as well. So let's quickly go through Bitcoin really quickly just to see the setup here. So we have a couple things going on. Let's go to our monthly because that's kind of where we're at right now. Again, a little frozen up here. 1 second, family. Could be that individual exchange. Let me turn off all this jargon. This is what's happening. It's like once the charts get very volatile, even the trading view starts to freeze up a little bit. I have perfect internet connection. Okay, so I'm going to turn on this moving indicator right here. It's just the 8 simple moving average, and I really like this 8 simple moving average. It's the yellow MA at the top right there, and that's a little bit, you know, most people would like to use like the 10 simple moving average in this case, but this is something to keep an eye on. You see how we're at around 46,347. We actually tapped into 48 a couple times in the past couple days. This is very important that we consider this level because this was the key level for us holding around December, and then we started to actually turn this moving average into a resistance on monthly closes for the past 3 months now. And this has shown an uptrend. You could even see it right here very simply. We have a wick, higher low, and then since we've actually made a higher high going back to the month of January slightly. So at least if I was to turn off this indicator, if we would get a slight like bullish engulfing, which you would do it candlestick to candlestick, but it's something to take into consideration. If we were to get slightly above this close right here, which came in at around, it was around 46,200, getting above 46,200 on tonight's closure would be awesome. Okay, it would show signs of strength. If we can get closes above the high level, which was around 48,000, that would be even more amazing. That would be basically between right now and the end of tonight, seeing Bitcoin go up about 3.74%, which is nothing for Bitcoin. Especially the stock market is what's bringing this bearish quality right now. The whole day, the market was performing really well. And then out of nowhere, the stock market opens up and we see the crypto market turn red. This is par for the course. This happens all the time. So just consider that once the stock market closes today around 5 p.m., 5:30, 6 p.m. in Eastern Standard Time, New York time, we can see all this liquidity flood back in. It's not me saying that it will happen. It's me saying that I've seen it happen before. So if that was the case, that'd be super interesting. It would be really a setup, you know what I'm saying? So let's go to the 2-day and hopefully our charts are loading. Again, I'm not really sure why this is so laggy. It's like the FBI doesn't want us to make a video today. Okay, beautiful. So we could see that this is a key level right here to consider. This level that we're getting, I gotta get a chart going that's better than this. Please load. Beautiful. Here we are. This is the chart that I wanted all along. You could see this yellow line right there, and it's at the closures of this neckline right here and right there on two big W patterns. These two big W patterns have yet to have any back tests since we broke out. The breakout here on March 26th was just pretty much a straight line on this 2-day, and it would be really nice if we got a little back test of that 44. I don't know when that will happen. It could happen soon. I mean, I would rather it happen sooner than later. What it would do is also fill in a CME gap that we have going on. So for those of you that are aware of the Chicago Mercantile Exchange charts, that's another thing to be considerate of. We do see that there is some closure levels that we've gotten above that. Let me see. It's lagging. So unfortunate. All right, well, you're going to have to take my word for it. I don't want to ruin this video. But with that being said, this TA is very simple. We have this level yet to be backtested around 44,700. It would be nice to get above that level. But with this slight, curvature to the downside, this could turn into a bull flag pretty quickly. So for those of you that are more technically inclined, you could call this the flag. And then we would have this little downside momentum would be like the flag itself. Here's your flag pole. It was something that happened around here too, but we did backtest this W around here before that breakout. So this was a legitimate breakout with a measured move to around 48,000. But since we have yet to really kick back into this prime territory of 44,800, I would love for this to happen. If this was to happen though, a lot of altcoins will get smashed. Like we'll probably see just by this move here of Bitcoin going from where it's at right now down to 44,500 would be a big, 20% losses on some of the altcoins that have done really well recently. Some of the suppressed altcoins like XRP, it's not going to take as big of a hit because there hasn't been as much liquidity pushed into those coins. So keep that in mind for a lower level, guys, 44,600, and even retesting this wick right here around 45,000, that would be key as well. And then to the upside, honestly, once we start getting reverse above this topside level around 48,000 on a daily close. I mean, any daily close above 48,000, I suspect will swipe up into the 618, which is around $51,000. 51 to 54 is like a real prime trap level, getting into the lower side of the golden pocket. So you definitely want to keep that in mind because at those levels right there, especially with this overall structure we've had in Bitcoin, it's a make or break. It either needs to push through this golden pocket, or if it gets rejected there, then that's lights out. It's probably going to be a arduous trading range and no more continuation to the upside unless there was just a huge fake out. In Shemitah years, we're typically only bullish until about May 20th. So keep that in mind. If we're going to see bullish action, historically, it makes it till about May 20th. That's about as late as we get. And then after that, once we start peeling down into the summertime, June, July, there's some pretty unhealthy pullbacks, breaking structure, and we've seen market crashes following the end of Shemitah into October, November, post-September Rosh Hashanah. So let me see if these Ethereum charts load up and everything else. I don't really understand what's going on. Okay, beautiful. So we do have this pattern here clearly playing out, and we saw how ETH gravitated too close to this trend line, and that's very good level. We see it right here coming to the prior all-time high in May of last year, and then we have this Rosh Hashanah dump where we pumped straight into this level on the day of Rosh Hashanah. Big pullback to the 382 fib, and then created a new all-time high. And now we're in a huge Wyckoff reaccumulation. And with this being said, surpassing this level right here was something I talked about in my last video, but I said it was really this level at 3,400 that I wanted to see break. And that's exactly what we got. We saw a little break of that level, and now we're back testing it. So you see, if I put my cursor right there, we're actually back testing this, and we've yet to break through that level. So if we can maintain daily closes above 3,350, basically where we're at right now, that's healthy and that's completely normal. If we can't hold that level though, unfortunately, we're probably going to see 3,200 down to 3,000, and that could happen real quick. It could be like a quick V shape out of that. And then I suspect anything breaking this level of 3,300 again would lead to the top of the golden pocket, somewhere around 3,800. But as of right now, we're within the golden pocket, and that's perfectly healthy, perfectly normal price action. Now on XRP, same story. We actually just came straight down to that level on a wick. That was probably to liquidate some people. So there's clearly a lot of leverage traders playing this XRP game right now. And look at this beautiful trend line we have. So this trend line that I have was on the daily closes, and it was playing on this whole level here, going back from yearly all-time high to the two rejections here before we had the bigger dump. And then you can see we gravitated towards this trend line and have been playing around with it since. We got above it lately, and now we've actually back tested it on that crazy wick that must have happened like right when the video started. So someone got liquidated on some trades. There's probably people entering like 100x XRP trades, and they just got wiped out. Look at that. Perfectly back tested that trend line. So again, this structure that we have right now, this is fine, but if we break structure, it's probably going to come down to the 786. That would be more likely if Bitcoin comes all the way down to like 44,000 again. So if Bitcoin comes down to 44,000, I suspect we could actually see a return of about, yeah, that would make sense, around 72 cents, 71 cents for XRP. Who knows at this time, lots of volatility. We can see a wick down to 71 cents and then the next 4-hour candle get bought right back up to 80. That is how this market goes, guys. Look at this right here. Huge washout, but then it ended up being a fake out to the upside. So this market likes to play with people right now. When you're playing with leverage, be careful. All right. This is kind of what I'm thinking about though. This setup into early April, and then it was really healthy. So I would like to see how this transition into the month of April goes. I think the stock market right now is holding down the crypto market from its potential gains. But again, even the Dow Jones, we saw it around 200 to 300 points down, and it's already recovering on the day. So I should end this here. This has almost turned somewhat into like a decoding live stream. But with that being said, it's really a great time to be in this market for those individuals that are new, because you're going to see that this volatility, it was absent and now it's kicking back in. And people that have been watching this channel now, getting prepared for these moments, or people that have watched my exit strategy blueprint, now we're seeing things like Zill and Digibyte and Rune and all these coins just randomly moving up. This is the setup, get into a market when it's boring, and when it gets exciting, don't FOMO. Just let the charts play themselves out, dollar cost average over the long term, and become an investor, not a gambler. So again, tomorrow is our new moon. Anything could happen. That mastermind course and my courses sale will be live for the next 24 hours. So if anyone wants to take advantage of that, in the pinned comment below and in the description box, you'll be able to find the link. The discount link is already in there. No promo code needed. And I appreciate all of your support. I'm wishing you all a beautiful day. Apologies about a little bit of the lag today, but I still wanted to get this video out to share all that information with you guys. Appreciate all of y'all. Much love.